Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation on Multilingual Solutions. My name is Praveen Chenoy and I am a software developer in DX development. And in this video, I am going to demonstrate some of the features for MLS that will allow customers to perform bulk translation of contents with the help of some tools, and they will be able to review that content and take appropriate actions before the content goes live. So without further ado, let's dive into the demo. In order to improve MLS experience, we have implemented few commands which allows the user to export the contents of the Wickham libraries or project in a CSV file format where the user can update the translated content and then with import command import that file back into the DX to provide that content with multilingual experience. These MLS specific commands have been integrated into the DX client tool. So I assume you already have the DX client tool installed. For this demo, we'll be using the library Woodburn Studio content. As you can see here, we'll be exporting the contents of this library using the MLS export command, for which we'll need some ID or name in order to identify this particular library. So to do that, I'll be needing either the Wickham library ID, which is this, or I could also use the Wickham library name, which is Woodburn Studio content. Before we export the contents of the Woodburn Studio content, let's try and figure out what are the parameters that are required to export. For that, type in DX client MLS export -h. This command lists out the parameters that are required in order to export, wherein we need DX protocol, the host name of the application, the port that it is hosted on, the content handler path, username and password. We can export one or more libraries by using the library ID or the library name of those different contents by comma separated values. We'll see that in a moment. But make sure that you do not specify the library ID and library name of the same content at once, otherwise it will result in an error. So let's check it out. Take a look at the command that I just pasted, wherein I have mentioned the protocol, the host name, the port that it is executing on, the content handler path, username, password, the part that I want to export in, and the main thing that we just got from the Wickham, that is Wickham library ID. So let's execute this command. As you can see, the DX client has successfully logged into DX server and it has started exporting the contents from the particular library that we just mentioned. After the export is done completely, this is how we will get the success message mentioning that the content is been exported in the specified export path with the file name MLS underscore the library ID and with the specified timestamp. This file is of the CSV format. So let's go and check out the file and its contents. If you look at the CSV file, this file consists of the contents that we just exported, wherein the data is exported in different columns, namely the source content, the target content, the source and target UUIDs, source language, that is English, and the target languages that are allowed in the system, the type of field, type of information that is related with the content, the component type of the particular content, the field limit wherein the translated content needs to be in the specified field limit, If the translated content exceeds the number of characters mentioned over here, it throws an error while importing the content back. The field preview link gives a preview of the content that you are just trying to translate. This way, the user can have a look at the content and visualize what are the contents and how would it look. For translating the content and importing it back into the system, let's take an example of one of the pages in web content. This is one of the pages contact us in the Woodburn. So if you notice, if I go and check out the French and Spanish pages, it still shows up contact us as the content in different languages. Now let's go and change that particular content in the CSV file and update it with the languages for Spanish and France and check out the output. Let's find that particular content over here. So if you notice, for the source contact us, the target language is still not updated. Let's go and update this and import only this particular section so that you could just have an example of this particular translated content. Let me update the content for Spanish. So I've updated the content for French and Spanish for contact us in the file. Now let's try and import this file back into DX with MLS import. Let me just save this file, close it. Let's move ahead to the terminal and check out what are the parameters required for MLS import. So as I mentioned it for the export, the only difference between the import and export is that we have to mention the import path for the specified file where we have changed the content and import it back into the system. So if you notice, I have updated the command as MLS import and I have updated the import path to the path where I have changed the content, and I've also mentioned the file name which I just changed. So let's go and import this file. So if you notice, since I have changed only one content, and it mentions that the translations have been successfully imported into the content. So let's go and head over to the page, refresh it, and check the content for the other languages that we changed, namely French and Spanish. So the data has been successfully imported back into the system. The translated content is updated in this content. Now, if you remember, I explained that if I import something more than 250 characters, if it is mentioned in the system, I mean the Excel file, then it throws an error for the components where the field limit is mentioned as 250. So let's try and add something which is more than 250. and see what it does. Let me save it and try and import again and see what it does. So if you notice, the other contents have been imported successfully, but the data where the length was more than 250, it throws an error for that particular content with the details of that particular content in the error message. Here, where it has mentioned the target UUID, the target language of that particular content, the field, and the path of that particular file. Similarly, there's another topic which allows the user to export the content that is changed within the specified timeline. So let's see. I'll edit something over here. Since I've edited this now, let's go and check it out. Using the option last modified after for the export. So if you notice, there is one content that is changed. Similar to the other contents, we will be also able to edit title and description that gives the metadata information for the particular content. So let's go and try and build it out for French. To get it, you can try and import that into the system. Let's say the data that is edited is imported successfully. So if you notice that the data that I edited has been updated in the system, and all those operations that you perform in the libraries can also be done in the project. So if you notice, I have created a project named project PS003, and I'll try to export the content of this project and then later import it back. The command remains the same. The only update over here will be mentioning the project name and the project. It exported the data back into the system with an mention the project name and the timestamp. So if you notice, it has exported the content successfully. I can import the content by changing some data over here, and in that case, the only update that I'll have to perform in order to import would be to update the import path for that particular project and update the command mls import. That's it. Let's head on to the next topic. Another feature that we have added in this release is to explore how that content would look in the mobile view. So if you notice, the language switcher that we had in the system over here with drop down, we'll be able to explore that in our mobile view over here. And the content has changed. Thank you for watching.